What is this?
No idea. We'll go around just to be on the safe side.
Enterprise, this is Riker. We've got a problem.
What kind of problem, number one? What is it, number one? What are you seeing?
Hey guys, what's happening? Nihat here with Film and Comics Explained, and today we'll be exploring Armus, the Skin of Evil, as featured in the expanded Star Trek universe. First appearing in Season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation, in an episode titled The Skin of Evil, Armus was essentially a malevolent entity born as a byproduct of a procedure in which a race of titans brought out from within themselves all evil and negative attributes that had bound them to destructiveness. The unwanted substance then spread and coalesced into a dank, vile second skin, and after rejecting the Skin of Evil, the titans abandoned the entity on the barren planet of Vagra 2 in the Zed Lapis sector. After its rejection, the being was left in a state of uncontrollable rage, which is what it was literally composed of. However, when its rage was focused, it was capable of generating around itself an intense, undefined force field that was capable of blocking sensor scans, communications, and transporters. Armus manifested as a black viscous liquid that could also assume a vaguely humanoid shape similar to that of the Titans who had abandoned it. And though the crew of the Enterprise D scanned it with a tricorder, their equipment was unable to register the exact substance the entity was composed of. The being was capable of enveloping humanoids and incorporating them into a liquid, where they would remain conscious while in liquid form. In this state, the being was capable of inflicting pain and suffering upon its victims, as well as being able to inflict discharges of energy that caused synaptic damage to humanoids, killing them instantly, as was seen with its shocking execution of Natasha Yar, who was the security officer among Jean-Luc Picard's crew. The Skin of Evil was impervious to phaser attack, with Data later theorizing that it could in fact feed off of phaser energy, which led Captain Jean-Luc Picard to assume that Armus was immortal. It was also capable of using psychokinesis and teleportation on at least humanoid-sized organisms within its field of focus. First contact with Armus occurred in the year 2364, after the crash of Shuttlecraft 13, which was carrying Councillor Deanna Troi, who had been brought down by the entity's force field. The USS Enterprise D then raced to Vagra 2 in the hopes of rescuing the shuttle, and immediately beamed down an away team. En route to the site of the crash, the away team encountered a mysterious inky black fluid with the consistency of road tar, and when they tried to get around it, the strange pool blocked their path. Not long after it was assumed that the pool was in fact some sort of life form, Armus introduced itself, and during their first encounter, it generated a field that killed Security Chief Lieutenant Natasha Yar.
What's Lieutenant Yar's condition? Dr. Crusher, report!
She's dead.
After killing Yar, Armus believed it would feel amusement and that the rescue effort would be abandoned. However, this was not the case. The entity eventually realized that torturing the shuttlecraft survivors would never be amusement enough, admitting that it only wanted passage away from Vagra 2 to find the beings that had initially left it there. Captain Jean-Luc Picard was eventually able to distract the being long enough for the energy field to weaken, allowing the captain and his crew to be beamed back onto the ship. The shuttle wreckage was then destroyed with a photon torpedo to prevent any possibility of Armus leaving the planet, and Vagra 2 was henceforth declared a quarantine zone. This deception would come to bite the Enterprise in the backside, as the rage Armus had once held for his creators was now shifted onto the Federation, and after coming into contact with another ethereal force known as the Heartless, which had made its way down to the planet hoping to consume the heart of Armus many years later, the Skin of Evil was able to overpower and consume it, and in doing so was able to acquire its ability to jump from dimension to dimension, finally enabling the tortured entity to leave its prison. I personally have really conflicting feelings about the Skin of Evil, as on the one hand you have this incredibly unique, sympathetic villain that could only ever be evil, as it was composed entirely of negativity. At the same time, for a being of such power, it didn't really feel threatening for much of the episode, even though it had literally permanently killed off a member of Jean-Luc Picard's crew. Now, Denise Crosby, who had played Natasha Yar, had stated that she'd been unhappy with the direction the show was going in, and had actually requested to be written off Star Trek The Next Generation. Because of this, I couldn't help but feel that the episode was entirely written to gracefully facilitate her departure, and as a result, the dialogue in this episode was pretty weak. All in all, the Skin of Evil is still one of the most creative monsters featured in the expanded Star Trek universe. Well, that's all for today, folks. Big thanks to all of you guys who requested we take a look at the Skin of Evil. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the notification icon to stay up to date on all my content. And if there's anything else you'd like to request, please don't hesitate to ask. As always, it's been a pleasure. Niat here with Film Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.
Number one, I don't believe that the location of the crash, the proximity of the creature, is a coincidence.
We mean you no harm. We have injured crewmen. In the shuttlecraft, we need to get to them. May we pass?
You haven't given me a good enough reason.
Preserving life, all life, is very important to us. We believe everything in the universe has a right to exist.
An interesting notion which I do not share.